On the night of August 15th, 1977, a telescope in Ohio pointed at empty space and recorded something that lasted exactly 72 seconds. Then it was gone. It has never come back, and in nearly 50 years of pointing every major radio telescope on Earth at that same patch of sky, nobody has ever heard it again. That signal has a name. We'll get to it. It's on this list. But here's the thing that should bother you. It is not the strangest one. Today, we're opening 10 files, 10 signals from deep space that scientists detected, recorded, and to this day cannot fully explain. Not internet myths, real data, real telescopes, real research. We have the recordings. We just don't have the answers. We're counting down to number 1, and number 1 is the one researchers are still arguing about right now. Let's open the files. If you're new here, this is Earthling Files, where we dig into the things our universe hasn't explained yet. As we go, keep a mental note of which signal unsettles you the most. I want the number in the comments at the end. I read them. Okay. Number 10. In 2007, a researcher named Duncan Lorimer was looking through 6-year-old archived data from a telescope in Australia, and buried in there was a single pulse. It lasted 5 milliseconds, 5/1000ths of a second. But in that time, it released more energy than our sun puts out in days. Here's what made it impossible to dismiss. The signal was smeared across radio frequencies in a very specific way. High frequencies first, low frequencies dragging behind. That only happens when a signal crosses enormous distances of thin cosmic gas. The math said this thing came from billions of light years away, from outside our galaxy entirely. A single ferocious flash from across the universe that lasted less than a blink. At first, astronomers didn't believe it. They thought it was interference, a glitch, a microwave oven in the building, anything earthly. For years it sat there as a maybe. Hold on to that maybe, because it cracked open an entire category of signal that now has its own name. We'll come back to it. Number 9. In 1967, a graduate student named Jocelyn Bell found a signal pulsing with almost impossible regularity, once every 1.3 seconds. Tick, 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 precise enough to set your watch by. Nothing natural was supposed to be that regular. For a few weeks, only half joking, the team labeled the source LGM1. LGM stood for Little Green Men. It turned out not to be aliens. It was a pulsar, the spinning, ultra-dense corpse of a dead star, sweeping a beam across us like a cosmic lighthouse. That discovery won a Nobel Prize. But here's why pulsars are on this list. Some of them don't behave. Every so often, a pulsar that's kept perfect time for years will suddenly speed up. A sharp jump in its rotation astronomers call a glitch. Others abruptly slow or flicker off and on for reasons our models still don't cleanly predict. We have the equations for these stars. The stars keep breaking them. And speaking of switching off, number 8 switched off, and we have no idea why. Some sources in the sky are reliable. You point at them, they're there. Astronomers use them like landmarks, until one isn't. Researchers comparing decades-old sky surveys against today's have catalogued objects that have vanished, points of light unambiguously recorded in old photographic plates from the 1950s, now simply absent from the sky. There are natural explanations on the table. Stars that faded, variable objects caught at the wrong moment, old instruments. But for a real subset of these, the honest scientific answer right now is, we don't know what they were, and we don't know where they went. A light that was there for the whole of human history and then wasn't. Sit with that one. Number 7 isn't about something disappearing, it's about something that keeps screaming, and we cannot find the mouth. Remember that maybe from number 10, the burst from billions of light years away that nobody believed. Here's the payoff. They got a name: fast radio bursts, FRBs. And once astronomers knew what to look for, they started finding them everywhere. Most flash once and are never seen again. But in 2012, they found one that repeated. The same source in the same spot, firing off bursts again and again, sometimes hundreds in a single hour. No clean period, no predictable beat. Just this distant object screaming in radio waves on a schedule that follows no rule we can write down. Magnetars, hypermagnetized neutron stars, are the leading suspect, and sometimes the evidence is genuinely good. But for the repeaters, for the energy involved, the full explanation is not settled. Smart people are arguing about it in journals this year. And number 6 made astronomers do something they almost never do: point a telescope at the same star, on purpose, hoping it would happen again. When something strange shows up once, the whole game becomes, can we catch it twice? One event is a story. 2 is a phenomenon you can study. There's a long, frustrating history of narrowband signals, tight, clean tones at a single frequency, the kind nature usually doesn't produce, that flash once and then never reappear, no matter how long the telescope stares back. A natural cosmic event splashes across many frequencies. A narrow, single frequency tone is, in our experience, the signature of a transmitter. That's what makes them maddening. They look engineered, and then they're gone, with no second look to confirm anything. Most get explained eventually. Satellites, interference, equipment. Most, not all. And every unexplained one leaves the same residue. A clean tone from a fixed point in the sky that behaved like a message and then refused to speak again. That brings us to the top 5. Quick gut check. Which number's gotten under your skin so far? Hold it. Number 1 is coming, and I think it'll change your answer. Number 5. In 2019, a project scanning the nearest star system to our own, Proxima Centauri, just over 4 light-years away, picked up something that made the team's blood run cold. A narrowband signal, around 982 megahertz, coming from the direction of that star. And it appeared to drift in frequency the way you'd expect from a moving planet. They called it BLC1, Breakthrough. Listen, Candidate 1. The word candidate is doing a lot of work there. For months, it was the most promising techno-signature anyone had flagged in modern science. I'll be straight with you, because this channel doesn't do hype. After deep analysis, the most likely explanation was interference. Some artifact of human technology that mimicked exactly what we were hoping to find. That's the leading conclusion. But notice how carefully the scientists phrased it. They didn't say definitely junk. They said it has the characteristics of interference. For a signal pointed right at the nearest star to the sun, probably us is an answer that still leaves a door open, and nobody has fully closed it. The next 2 aren't about distant stars. They came into our own solar system and left before we could get a good look. Number 4. In October 2017, telescopes caught something passing through our solar system that had never been seen before, an object from another star system, interstellar. The first one we ever confirmed. They named it Oumuamua, Hawaiian for a scout, a messenger from far away. And almost immediately, it stopped making sense. It was the wrong shape, extreme, elongated, tumbling, the wrong brightness, flickering as it spun. And most strangely, as it left, it accelerated, sped up slightly, as if something were gently pushing it, but it showed none of the gas and dust tail a comet produces when the sun gives it that push. Most astronomers favor a natural explanation: exotic ices venting in ways we can't easily see. One prominent Harvard astronomer argued, very publicly, that we should at least consider it wasn't natural at all. Here's the part that ends the debate, and not in a satisfying way. It's gone. It left. It's never coming back. We got a few weeks of bad data on the first interstellar visitor in history, and then the door closed behind it forever. Number 3. After Oumuamua, astronomers swore they'd be ready next time, and there was a next time. More interstellar objects have since been confirmed crossing through our solar system, visitors from other stars caught in the act. Each carries the same quiet problem. By the time we confirm what they are and point our best instruments at them, they're already on their way out. We are perpetually one step behind objects, moving faster than anything we can launch to chase them. And here's what genuinely unsettles me. Finding several in such a short span suggests these things are passing through constantly. For all of human history, interstellar objects have been sailing through our neighborhood, and we only built the tools to notice them a few years ago. So the real mystery of number 3 isn't any single object. It's the question underneath. What have we been missing this whole time, simply because we weren't looking? 2 left. And number 2, for a brief window, made a roomful of scientists genuinely consider that we were not alone. I told you at the start about a signal from 1977 that lasted 72 seconds and never came back. This is it. The Big Ear radio telescope at Ohio State was scanning the sky for exactly this. It couldn't track. It just sat still and let the Earth's rotation sweep the sky past it. Any single point could only stay in view for 72 seconds. On August 15, 1977, it caught something from the constellation Sagittarius, a narrowband signal, clean, single frequency, the kind nature struggles to make, around 30 times stronger than the background hum of space, and it rose and fell in exactly the 72-second curve you'd expect from a real, fixed source sweeping through the telescope's view. A few days later, the astronomer Jerry Eman found it on the printout, circled the numbers in red pen, and wrote one word in the margin. Wow, that's the name. That's all it took. Now, here's where I have to be honest again, because the truth is more interesting than the legend. For nearly 50 years, telescope after telescope has stared at that exact spot. Nothing. It never repeated. And that silence is actually an argument against aliens. A beacon, you'd think, would repeat. In the last couple of years, researchers proposed a natural mechanism, a flare from a magnetar slamming into a cold cloud of hydrogen gas, making it briefly blaze at just the right frequency. It's a genuinely good idea. It might be the answer, but might be is the whole story of this video. Decades on, the WOW signal still sits alone in the record, one 72-second whisper from the dark that we've never been able to explain away and never been able to explain forward. And yet, it's still only number 2, because number 1 isn't a signal we failed to repeat. Number 1 is a signal scientists are fighting over right now. Number 1. Everything else on this list has a leading theory, even if it's unproven. Number 1 is different. It's the open wound in the field, where serious, credentialed scientists look at the same data and walk away with completely opposite conclusions. It's the question of the techno-signature itself. The clean, narrowband, drifting, repeating but not quite signals, the candidates, the unexplained tones, the bursts that follow no rule. Every single time the field splits into 2 camps. One camp says, it's always us, always interference, always instruments, always a satellite we forgot about. And they're right so often that their skepticism is the responsible default. The other camp says, we have now detected signals that survived every check we threw at them, and a handful we've never explained. And the universe is too big and too old for it's probably nothing to be the end of every sentence. That's number one, not a single recording, the unresolved argument itself. The fact that in 2026, with the best telescopes humanity has ever built, we have a pile of signals from deep space, and the smartest people alive cannot agree on whether anyone is on the other end. We have the data. We've always had the data. What we don't have, what we may not have for a long time, is the answer. 10 files, 10 signals, not one of them fully closed. So now I need your number. Which one got under your skin? The visitor that accelerated for no reason, the 72-second whisper from 1977, or the argument nobody can settle? Drop the number in the comments. I'll be down there reading them and replying. If you want the next file the moment it opens, subscribe. There's another one already on screen I think you'll like. Go ahead and open it. This was Earthling Files. Keep looking up.